Okay, hi everybody. We're gonna do our cool down sequence now. So we're gonna assume that we are at the end of a class and we have made our way down to child's pose. So we're gonna start the cool down in child's pose. So arms reaching forward as long as that's comfortable, hips reaching back towards the heels, tummies in tight always to support the back. If it's more comfortable, you could rest your arms along the side. You could even rest your head on your hands if you like that. Okay, and we just take the opportunity in child's pose to check in with the body. To acknowledge that while maybe the active part of the class is over, we're still gonna continue to focus on our breath and continue to focus on touching parts of the body gently and with loving kindness. Continuing always to be conscious of how we're feeling, how we're reacting to the pose. Okay, so from child's pose, when we're ready, we're gonna make it up to all fours. And we're slowly gonna step one leg forward, that was my knee cracking, one leg forward into a low lunge. All right, so I have my right foot in front, so you'll notice when you step forward into a lunge, you wanna try and have the knee over the heel or behind it. Only because if you take it further out that way, that puts a lot of pressure on your knee. So if you like, you could try keeping your knee over your heel or a little bit behind. Also notice this big angle here with my back leg. That's so that you're not teetering on your kneecap of the back leg. All right, so again, if you can, ease that back knee as far back as is comfortable and as long as you're staying stable, just so that you're not teetering on that kneecap, because again, that's a lot of stress on that knee. Okay, so as long as you're comfortable in this low lunge, you could either stay here, gently pressing the hips towards the floor. You don't want to sink into it too hard, still being conscious of the hip flexor and the quads. It's a lovely stretch for the hip flexors and the quads here. As you can slowly press the hips down towards the ground. If you're super stable there and nice and comfortable, you can reach up on a nice big inhale, open up the chest. Nice opportunity for a nice supported chest opener. And then also, if you're comfortable, you can take it into a back bend. Okay, it's difficult to talk in a back bend. All right, so big breath wherever you are. And as we exhale, come on back down. Fingertips on the floor. You can tuck that back toe under here for a bit more support as we're gonna ease the hips backwards. Okay, and as you ease the hips backwards, you realize you're getting a nice deep stretch in the hamstrings. Okay, so this is where you have to be super conscious of that hamstring, making sure you're not taking that stretch too deep. Okay, if you start to tremble here, it's gone too far. You want to bend that knee a bit maybe and shift a bit further forward. All right, but once you feel that stretch, you can hold it there, inhaling and exhale. So as you inhale, let's lengthen through the spine. Create some space through the back of the body, and exhale, you can gently bring the chest down towards the leg. It doesn't matter how far it gets. Okay, so then you can, I did it without saying, you can flex that front foot. That gives a little more stretch in the back of the calf. Lift up through the bum, through the back of the hip there, a little more stretch in the hamstring. And then as you inhale and lengthen through the upper body, and exhale and fold a bit, you're lengthening through the entire back body. Okay, so from there, we're gonna bend through that front knee, come back to our low lunge, and we're gonna take both hands over on the inside of that front leg and slowly bend the elbows. So you're bending the elbows, you're lowering the upper body down towards the mat. Doesn't matter how far it gets, but if you do get to the point where your elbows can be down, go ahead, rest the elbows down. Still be conscious of this hip area, okay? Keeping it a little buoyant. So not sort of slopping into the hip flexor, okay? Still keeping it buoyant, still keeping it conscious, being aware of that stretch in the quads. So that's a nice lizard pose. Great for opening up the hips. Okay, so you can stay on your elbow here, or if you were on your hands still, that's fine. We're gonna open up to the right side, or open up towards the side that the front leg is on. All right, so my right leg is forward, I'm opening up my right arm. So beautiful chest opener, nice twist here in a completely supported position. So a big breath in, lengthen. You can even tuck the tailbone under there for a little length in the lower back. And exhale, open up a bit more. Good, so we're gonna bring those hands down. We're gonna step back to our all fours and even take another moment in child's pose. Nice to ease out the hamstring there and the lower back. So a big breath in here and exhale and relax. So all the while in our cool down, we're bringing the heart rate down. We're still stretching, maybe focusing a bit more on some individual big muscles, obviously less big fast movements and much slower. Okay, so this time we're going to step the other foot forward to that low lunge. So remember the suggestions for protecting your knees. The front knee over the heel or behind it, and the back knee, big angle on this leg, so you're not teetering on that kneecap. All right? So we're going to hold it here in a low lunge. If you feel comfortable, you can come and rest your arms on your front leg. Again, you feel that hip flexor and quad stretch. Really nice right there. Tummy's in nice and tight to support the back. And if you're comfortable, you can take that up to the inhale, chest opener, and even further, exhale into a back bend, if you like. Or you could spend all that time just enjoying this lovely hip flexor and quad stretch. That's great too. All right, so lizard pose on this side then. Oh no, I did the hamstring first. So tuck that back toe under for a little support and ease the hips back. So this side is going to be different. This hamstring might be tighter, it might be looser. So be aware, I have a little bend in this knee. Keep as much of a bend as you need to protect that hamstring. Okay, lengthen on the inhale. Maybe as you exhale, sink down towards that leg. Okay, that's lengthening through the entire back body there. All right, again, big breath in and exhale. Flexing that foot takes the stretch through to the calf as well. One more time, big breath in and exhale. Good, so we shift back into our low lunge, taking it into our lizard pose. So your stage, whatever stage you want to take it to, if this is your lizard pose, awesome. Hands on the inside of that front leg. Maybe you can bend the elbows, taking the forearms down to the mat. If you get there, you can even rest your head. That's a nice little treat to give the head, neck, and shoulders a little rest there as we continue to breathe consciously. Inhale, still lengthen through the back body. Exhale, relax. Still lengthening through the hip flexor and the quads here. So from here, we're going to bring the hands down in front of us and press up. And we're going to take this front foot into a pigeon stretch. Okay, so that means that it's my left leg in front. So I'm taking the heel and the foot over to the opposite side of the mat and lowering the outside of that hip towards the mat. So if you're super tight in your hips, you can bring this front leg as like super close into the body, okay? So that you're even feeling it on the hip, all right? And then when you're there, both hands can place in front, and then you can turn the body more to face the mat. If you are more open in the hips and more comfortable with a pigeon stretch, this leg can go further away from the body, okay? But it doesn't matter how far away it goes once it feels right for you, okay? If this is too much, then you bring it in closer to the body. All right, and a completely different alternative to this pigeon stretch like this is if you do a reclined pigeon stretch. So lying down, crossing the leg in front of you and hugging it in towards the chest. Okay, that's a nice reclined pigeon. Okay, so once you're in your pigeon, let's inhale, lengthen. And as we exhale, gently walking forward, just like before, to wherever you're comfortable, okay? So if you're open in the hips and comfortable with a pigeon pose, you might be able to take your body all the way down, but you certainly don't need to. You could have some blocks here, some blankets. It's nice if you can get your upper body rested on something, so whether that's your elbows down or you've built up some blocks, and you can allow the head, the neck and shoulders to relax here, taking a moment to focus on the breath. Good. And then from pigeon pose, we're going to press up the hands. You can shift onto the outside of that hip. This time we all bring our leg in close to the body, no matter where it was before, and lift up and cross over that back leg. Okay, so we're going to inhale, sit tall. As we exhale, take the right hand behind us, left hand wedging against this upper leg. Remember, inhale, lengthen through the back, exhale, then twist, okay? Inhale, lengthen each time, and exhale and twist to wherever you're comfortable. Okay, twists are great for aiding digestion, squeezing the toxins out of the body. Super thing to do at the end of a class. Just get rid of all the bad stuff. One more time, big breath in, and exhale and turn. Okay, so we have to do pigeon on the other side. So this leg that was up, the right leg now, goes into our pigeon. So bent in front of us, the other leg steps behind. So remember, this side is different, but the process is the same. If you're tight in this hip, this right leg now comes close to the body. If you're looser in your hips, it can go further away. If this all feels terribly uncomfortable, you can take a reclined pigeon instead. All right, so let's find our resting area here in pigeon. Inhale, lengthening through the back, and exhale, maybe we have some blocks or some blankets, maybe the elbows go down, maybe we can walk the upper body all the way down and rest on that leg for this beautiful hip stretch right here. Good, and when we're finished, we can walk those hands up, and so shift onto the outside of the right hip now, left leg comes up and over. Inhale, lengthen, and this time exhale, left hand comes behind, right hand can hold on wherever you're comfortable. Inhale, lengthen first, and then exhale, turn to your left. And inhale, lengthen, and exhale, turn to the left. Good, so let's release that. Both legs are in front now. We're just gonna do a quick bound angle pose. So soles of the feet come together. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall. So if your feet are out here, then that's awesome too. Wherever you can comfortably have your soles of your feet together. Inhale, sit tall, tummy's in tight here. And then exhale, fold over, a beautiful way to stretch and lengthen the back body, especially that lower back. Okay, one more big breath in and lengthen. And exhale and relax. Good, we're gonna sit up, bring the legs together. So you can take this down to a lion position however you feel comfortable. If you're comfortable just rolling it down, that's a nice way to go, or you can just lie down however you feel comfortable. So if you like, you could hold on to the back of the thighs, inhale and lengthen. I like to exhale and arch the whole back body and just hang out here for a moment and really stretch all the way through the back, all the way up the shoulders, tuck the chin down, even getting into the neck there. Good, and then as the tummy's staying tight to support, just lift the feet off the floor and gently roll down and give those legs a nice hug. Good, so our last reclined stretch then, we're gonna extend one leg, bend one leg in, tuck that toe underneath the thigh of the extended leg and drop the knee over to the opposite side. Okay, and then your right shoulder or your opposite shoulder reaching down towards the floor, arm lengthens out along the floor. And again, inhale, lengthen, exhale, reach. One more time, inhale, lengthen, exhale, relax. Good, so slowly let's come back up to center, give that knee a hug, and then we change legs. So that leg lengthens, and the first leg that was long bends in. So this time I'm on my left knee bent in. Okay, and slowly I'm gonna hook my toe underneath the thigh, wherever on that extended leg. Slowly drop over to the opposite side. And then the opposite shoulder and arm reaches out to the other side. So if adding the shoulder and the arm to this twist is too much, you can just focus on the legs. Good, inhale, lengthen. This shouldn't be hard work at this stage, okay? It should just be very, very gentle and relaxing. So one more breath where we are. And exhale, let's slowly bring that back to center. Give that knee one more hug. And then we're gonna lengthen both legs out, taking it into Shavasana, our final relaxation position. So legs lengthen. I like to take one big breath and lengthen through the whole body. And then exhale, relax the entire body, and then let the arms and the legs drop wherever they were. I actually often end up with my arms over my head. So I figure whatever way you're comfortable. So wherever you're comfortable in your final relaxation, let's go ahead and close the eyes. And we'll spend some time now just focusing on the breath. Giving the body a chance to assimilate all that it's done here in this class today. Giving the body a chance to integrate and absorb all of the benefits of what we've done here.